all agree, without doubt, that notes are one of the most effective ways of learning. And why? That's because they have a number of advantages and they help us in the summarization and effective understanding of a chapter by recollecting ideas and representing them in a creative and concise manner. Oh my god, such a big sentence. But it has one simple meaning, and that is, notes are advantageous and we must make them. But now the question arises in many minds, how to make notes effectively? Yeah, that's a great question, and in this video we will be discussing about the same. So why wasting so much time? Let's get started with our video today. And first we will look at the points to remember before we started making our notes. So there's one point that says, remember they are your notes, not your book. And it simply means that while making our notes, we must only jot down the important information. If we want, then we could underline the main points to emphasize upon them. Other than that, we must try that our notes are limited to only 1 or 2 pages. Now, for example, I have taken up this paragraph from the Vedic civilization which tells us about the Aryans. Now first, what you do is that you mark the important information. Like here I have marked, why did the Aryans migrate to different places, what were the Aryans who settled in India called, and why is the period from 1500 BC to 600 BC called the Vedic age, etc. In your book, in your paragraph, first mark these important information, and all you need to do now is just arrange them. Okay, so that was one important point that I had to discuss, and now we will move on to the points to remember while making notes. So let's get started with that. The point number 1 is try making notes in class. Making notes in class has a number of advantages, because when the teacher is teaching and you start writing something, the important points, they are fresh in mind. The teacher tells a lot of things while teaching, additional information, so you all have that in your mind. And also the rapid doubts, the quick doubts which arise in your mind, they get solved very easily. So it's not always compulsory to have a good handwriting while you are making your notes in class, because many students have this problem that I can't write that quickly. So what I am saying, that write in an understandable handwriting. You should only understand that. Okay, now nobody else has to see that. Now, like for example, I have taken this image. The teacher is teaching about the radicals in the class, and then she defines that radicals are a unit, they are a combination of the elements and the compounds, etc., and they are behaving as a single unit, and they have a charge, and also they have atomicity as always. Now you could have several doubts that what is this charge, or why is this number below, or how is sulfate different from sulfide, how is sulfide different from sulfide, several questions. So you have those questions, and always ask those questions, especially in science. Now we will move on to the next point, which says try using bullets, because bullets help in the organization of any information, and also they help in the representation and management of any topic or concept. So they help in the interrelation of topics as well. Like you could have several bullets for several things, a type of code. Like I will use this for this thing, I will use an arrow for writing this, I will use a dot for writing this, I will relate things using this symbol. So you could create your own symbols, no problem in that. Nobody is going to judge that whether it is something very imaginary or awkward. The point is that they are your notes and you have to understand them. So make bullets and relate them according to your convenience, but they must be logical so that you are able to understand every time. You don't have to look at those code languages that what did I use this for, or why have I put an arrow here, I should have put an arrow there, Arrows, oh my god. So let's have a code, example of a code bullet language. So here I have mentioned that use an arrow for main points, use a circle or a dot for subheadings, a square for important information or any example, then an asterisk or a star kind of a thing for higher order thinking skills questions, application based questions, then previous knowledge based questions. And you could have a special symbol like here I have a tick for questions or any doubts, and always for means remember to put a tick mark or check them once they are solved by your teacher or any other source. After that, the point says try making your notes colorful. And now have you ever wondered that why do we always focus on a bag covered with lots of feathers and lots of colors, trinkets, glitter, rather than a dull leather brown bag? The point is that in our brain there are many vibrant cells and they react more. I'm saying they react, which means they focus and they concentrate more on the things they are colorful. So when you have post-its kind of things, you have sticky notes, you have lots of colors on your notes, don't use lots of colors on your note, because the point is that you only want to remember them. You don't have to make them fancy. It's about your memorization, how you memorize things. So just make sure that you use means at least 2 to 3 color pens, that's all. And you could also use highlighters and sticky notes. That is the thing which is reasonable. Like for example, this person has decorated it nicely and reasonably. So try means writing the heading very calligraphic, which is beautiful, and you are able to see the topic once you open it. And the rest of the things, you just underline the main point and write the next things in a normal pen. Underline any definitions which you want. Next tip says make diagrams and flowcharts. Again, like colors, our brain is able to absorb that information in a better manner when it is not in words. Means draw a diagram or a flowchart wherever it is possible in your notes. Like for example, you are studying about the respiratory or the circulatory system in your human body. So when you have to write the function of the different parts, say villi or say lungs, etc. So you make a diagram, label it, and try to use your post-its to just write the function in short. That way the information is much more presentable, and the brain is also able to understand that yes, the parts are here, the functions are simultaneously, everything on one page, and the information looks much more clear to our brain, and of course it again reacts to the information. Now for drawing flowcharts, if you're in online, a person likes surfing online, use Lucidchart. It has lots of options for drawing flowcharts and all that, lots of connections and interrelations, and it also has a fair user rating of 8.9, 8.5 and 8.4. So you must go for this app if you have a lot of computer work. So this app is very helpful then. Apart from this, moving on to a different point of time, if you are someone who likes to work online a lot, if you're an online person, like to have online resources, so what we have got for you again in this video is the note-taking apps, some of the best note-taking apps, I must say. And the first and foremost choice of mine is Evernote. How can I miss Evernote, buddy? It's such a stupendous and a spectacular app that once you start using it, you get addicted to it. Lots of options, lots of facilities and pros that we forget about the cons of this app, because it has to-do list makers, you have anything to note down, and lot of editing options, lot of text editing options. It also has a cloud saving option, and the pro version is also very reasonable. Apart from this, the Evernote app, which I'm talking about, is present both all, means you can download it from Google Play and from App Store as well. It also has 100 million plus downloads and a fair user rating, a good user rating of 4.6. To add, it is also an editor's choice app. Sounds tempting, right? So what I just said, that open your Play Store and App Store, whatever you have, and just download this app. The next note taking app of mine is Easy Notes, which is a notepad notebook. Yeah, just an alternative kind of a thing for Evernote, because it even has a lot of colorful notes, options for a lot of colorful notes, and a rich text editor which highlighter things and underlining and text effects and fonts and much more things. And diagram making is also very easy because it has an annotation option as well, and that is what many of the Easy Note users like. And they have also get and Easy Notes also has a good rating from its users. Apart from this, it is present on Google Play. So what I suggest is just click on the pause video. You have watched almost the entire video. Go on the Google Play or your App Store and download these apps right away. They are meant for productivity and they are meant to manage your time. That's all for now. Thank you.